I have been playing a ton of Rus lately, and I've noticed people have learned how to play against the classic pro scouts into horse archers extremely well. So I took inspiration from players like Csoh and Puppypaw on how they approach Rus these days. So today, I bring to you the improved way to play the civilization. Let's get into it. This build is better than previous ones for a couple of reasons. First, people have learned how to deny professional scouts. So it is extremely common that you will see extremely fast feudal aggression into Rus deer packs. So this build is designed to counter that. Second, we will go with only one hunting cabin instead of two. This is because building two makes it so civs that can apply pressure early can destroy one of the cabins outside of the TC range in most maps. One hunting cabin will also allow us to save 100 wood, which we will use for a second house later on, and also to do something terrible and unthinkable for Rus players. We are going to mine gold. I know this is scary for you Rus players out there, but trust me, it is for a good reason. This basically allows us the fastest possible pro scouts timing you can do with multiple scouts, which will let us bring food home before any units reach our deer packs. After that, we will stay in Feudal and make units to fight for the deer. And later in Castle, we will not build horse archers. Instead, we will go for a ton of knights. And later we can add either archers, crossbows, or horse archers depending on what the opponent is doing. Start off by sending all villagers to sheep. Build a hunting cabin and a house with one villager. You can also build a cabin with 3 villagers if you want to go for a faster scout, which in turn might let you find a little bit more sheep, but either way is fine. After that, every villager should go to the sheep until you have 9, and remember to build one extra scout from the hunting cabin as soon as it finishes building. So no third scout in this build. At some point after you have 9 villagers on food, send one of your food villagers to build a mining camp at the gold vein without changing your TC rally point. So keep rallying onto the food for now until you have 11 sheep villagers. Okay, so let's stop here for a second to talk about scouting. I always like to send my first scout towards the enemy base and move around it like this. My second scout can go either this way or this way. That depends on the map and also if you saw the enemy scout. For example, if you saw the enemy scout going this way, then send your second scout the other way so you don't run behind the enemy scout and can get as many sheep as possible. Now, back to the build. At around 2:15 minutes, you should have enough resources to age up with 4 villagers. During the age up, keep the villager in the gold mine. Keep 6 at food and send the rest to the straggler trees, along with your TC rally point. Whenever you have enough food, make sure you produce 1 additional scout from your hunting cabin for a total of 3. And finally, when you are about halfway done with the landmark, pull one of the villagers that are building it to the trees. This will make it so at around 4:05 minutes you will be able to sell 100 food and research professional scouts. This is by far the fastest professional scouts timing you can get with 3 scouts. At this point, send the villager that is mining gold back to the food for a total of 7 and keep your rally point on wood for now, since you will need to build a military production building and a wooden fortress. And I also like to produce 1 more scout after the upgrade finishes, for a total of 4. By the way, make sure your scouts are all back at your deer packs by around the 5:15 mark, which is when your professional scouts will finish researching. Now this part is very important, so let's stop here for a second. People nowadays are playing extremely aggressive against Rus, so 9 out of 10 times you will have to build either a barracks, a stable, or an archery range at this point. This heavily depends on what you saw with your scouts at your enemy's base and which civilization you are going up against. For example, in this game I went with a barracks because I was playing against an English with Abbey of Kings, so I will need a few spearmen to defend myself from the king. In this other example I went with an archery range because I was going up against a Mongol player, and I saw that he was building an archery range. This means he will go for Mangudai, and the counter to that are archers. In other cases, you might be going against a Lancaster player with lords, so you might need a knight to deal with that, so you build a stable in that case. Here you will need to decide whether you stay in Feudal and fight, or if you are able to go to Castle with the minimal amount of units. Now back to the build. In this example I went for a barracks and a wooden fortress only. You will also have enough gold to research the first wood upgrade and survival techniques. Remember to use your spearmen to constantly protect your scouts, and if you are not building any more military production buildings, leave only 6 villagers on wood and send everyone else to the deer. Now you can sell any extra wood you've been getting and age up to the castle later. Whenever you have enough resources, age up with 8 to 12 villagers. This number depends on your particular game and whether you need to age up faster. Also, take a look at the placement of the landmark. I deliberately left a space here for the high trade house because in many cases, your opponent will have a bigger army than you in the Feudal Age. So if you place your landmark too far away from your TC, you might get caught and lose a lot of villagers when aging up. As soon as you start constructing the landmark, leave only 6 villagers and food and send everybody else to the wood line. Your TC rally point should also be set to the wood. Now, your objective is to gather enough wood to build 2 stables and a monastery. After you have gathered that wood, send 8 of your wood workers to the gold. This is important because we are not going to produce any horse archers anytime soon. We will produce knights instead. You can also use your spearmen to protect your gold villagers at this time, and later on you can even add a wooden fortress to protect all 8 of your villagers here. After reaching the castle age, focus on producing knights non-stop and gathering all the relics you can. You can use the knights to protect your warrior monks and raid, and make sure you pay attention to what your opponents start producing. If they have a lot of spearmen and crossbows, you can complement your knights with archers or horse archers. If you're up against a heavy cavalry civ, you can start going into crossbows or spearmen. This is where you will have to start using your brain and not always go into horse archers. So I know I said in the beginning this build is made to counter early aggression, but the best thing to do is to still try and go for early aggression and deny as much deer as you can. Rus is an extremely slow civilization in the Feudal Age. This is because they have to set up hunting cabins, which cost 100 wood, wooden fortresses, which cost 175 wood, and also military production buildings. Their unit production takes a while to kick in, so take advantage of this and set units towards their deer packs as fast as you can. You can also go out on your own deer packs really early. This will give you a boost in economy and deny the Rus's deer packs at the same time. Finally, if you are playing a good Dark Age civilization, always go for spearmen early. This will deny the early gold mine, and you can also use the spears later on to start poking at the scouts at the deer packs. Rus is a very deer dependent civilization, so do whatever you can to keep enough deer for as long as possible. Okay, so now let's take a look at a game I played against this Malian player. In this matchup, in Rus versus Malian matchup, is actually really hard for the Rus player for a couple of reasons. The first reason is because of the unit composition. So for example, Malian can use Donsos to counter either horse archers or knights pretty effectively. Javelin throwers also counter horse archers pretty badly. And even if you go for a fast castle, they will have every unit that counters you. So there is not much you can do in the unit department. So what you need to do here as Rus is to go for a lot of feudal pressure. So this build is actually going to be really good for that. So here you can see I go for the gold and only one hunting cabin. This will allow me to get a faster professional scouts. I actually get a scout kill here. But as you can see on the map, he went for 2 scouts, so he's running to get those sheep right now. And I didn't know he went for 2 scouts, so I didn't think he was going to get these sheep back. So, but yeah, he actually got them. But going for 2 scouts, he will have a lot of sheep, but I will have deer. And if he wants to go out on deer, he either has to go professional scouts himself or just go out on the map. He's also behind on 1 villager because of he started with 2 scouts. So as you can see on the top side, he's actually behind, which is also good for me. But he actually got a lot of sheep, even more than I did, because the hunting cabin takes a while to get built. So my second scout actually didn't get that much, that many deer. But now it's 4:10 and I am already researching pro scouts. It is a little bit later because the build is a little bit hard to get done right. So yep, 5 seconds later than I should have. And I am immediately starting to go into a barracks because I know he's going to harass me with my with other warrior scouts or sofas. And but his age up is actually really late because he started with 2 scouts. He has a lot of sheep, but he delayed everything else because of that. And actually his first pit mine is blocked by this woodland here, so that's actually really good for me. But if you can see, he has this map. I didn't think this map was going to be good for Malians, but if you think about it, look at all the goals that he has on the back of his base. Harassing this is going to be really hard for me because it's really far away from my base. And he's going for barracks and a stable. So he's just going to go really aggressive at the beginning. And he's already up to pit mines. But I have a couple of spearmen here defending. And he's already pumping out sofas in order to counter my professional scouts. But yeah, with this build, as you can see, he's starting to harass me. But because I have the barracks really early, and I am also starting to go into a double stables here because I want to get out as many units as I can to defend myself. And yeah, if I was doing a different build where I just go straight for castle, I would be in trouble right now because I wouldn't have a way to defend myself from these units, and I wouldn't be able to get all of these deer. I am already getting, I think already almost finished with this side, and I'm starting to get the deer on the other side as well. So I am doing pretty good right now, and I even want to get a wall up, so I only have to worry about defending this side. But actually at this point he starts being really aggressive against the right side. And I just kept producing spearmen and knights for now. Eventually, when he has way too many donzos, I will have to get archers. But for now, a spearman knight is fine. And he, right when I send my knights to raid, he went on this side, so I just started sending all my reinforcements here. But he's not really able to get much done. And all I need to do now is defend and wait until my knights get there to raid. And he's really busy here defending. And he didn't see that I was actually raiding on the back of his base. And I get so many kills. So many kills with this raid. And he's distracted because he's fighting with me here. So he wasn't able to see that he was getting raided back. I took that opportunity to raid. Because I knew he was distracted fighting here, and now he's 14 villagers behind, which is really bad for him. Really bad. As you can see in the income, mine is through the roof because of the deer, and he has to go into sheep. He's still on sheep. I was looking for his food, and I couldn't find it because he got so much sheep, and he's actually producing cows to keep gathering under his TC. And I got I think 2 or 3 more villager kills there, so those 4 knights were really worth it. Even though I lost 3, it was really worth it. I got 15 villagers for that. So now he's in a timer. He needs to pretty much all in right now because I already did way too much damage. He's just trying to see what I'm doing, but yeah, my economy is way better than him, and soon I will have way too many units for him to handle. I am also trying to get the deer on his side. He's trying to deny the deer that was on this side, but I am already done with that. And I was able to get 5 from him here. So now he has 15 donzos, 11 archers, and 10 jab throwers. So right now I should be going into archers and just fighting with all 3 unit types. Because right now, as you can see, this knight and spearman composition is not enough to deal with this amount of archers and donzos and javelin throwers. So I go back at this point. He even upgrades this tower. And I need to go back and wait until I have enough archers to deal with this. I actually see this little sneaky guy trying to do a tower here. So I pretty quickly deny that. I guess he was trying to deny my wood, but this was really ambitious from him. So yeah, right here he's just trying to be annoying with the units, but it's really not going to work. And I'm scaling into archers right now. I have 11 archers in queue, and right now I thought he had an even bigger army. I didn't know I was so ahead at this point, but yeah, I knew I was ahead, but I just didn't know how ahead I was. So at this point, I just need to survive. I just need to keep producing units, and I will soon be ahead. So now I know that I can fight this tower because I have so many units, and now I have archers, so I can fight all of these doses that he has. So yeah, at this point it's just trying to micro the knights, the horsemen. There it was a really missed micro from myself because I just bumped the knights into the spearmen. But in the end it was a favorable trade for me. And yeah, now he's in trouble because I see that he's on these outer resources here. So he's out of food. He actually didn't... He was pretty much all-inning me because he didn't go for cows. Yeah, I guess he just wants to go Farimba later, so he can upgrade all of his javelin throwers. So this is not a cow build from him, so my economy is going to be really good and much better than his. So yeah, at this point I'm just trying to maintain him in Feudal Age. Dealing as much damage as I can with my archers and going around with the horsemen and the knights to keep denying food. But yeah, this is the only food he has. Once he gets done with the deer, he will have to go on this side, which is he's doing right now. So yeah, I'll just have to keep rotating and keep making units. But actually right now, because I know I did so much damage, I am able to just go straight into castle, which is what I'm doing right now. I'm aging up with the high trade house. By the way, the high trade house, even if these trees are chopped out, and these trees too, the gold will count. So don't worry about the trees being chopped out. So yeah, I'm already aging up, and he's nowhere near. As you can see, he is missing almost all the resources. So he's nowhere near aging up, and I'm just saving as much gold and resources as I can. Here I don't want to fight yet because I want to wait for my upgrades. So I just try to move everything back and wait for my upgrades, which I am getting right now. So I'm just go for the veteran horseman because I want a lot of gold right now. So I don't want to go into knights. And even if I go into knights, he already has a big mass of donzos, so I thought just going spearmen was a little bit more resource, more optimized for my resources, because horsemen come out faster and they are less expensive than knights. So immediately go into warrior monks and start getting the relics. I see that he's on these outer resources with my scouts, and he saw me. He saw that I saw him. So he immediately recognizes that I will attack at this point and decided to move back. So yeah, the bad thing about Malian, he has really good bead mines here, but these are all small gold. So I guess that's why he was getting this one first. But right now I am way ahead in units, way ahead in economy, way ahead in upgrades. So I decide to take this fight before he gets his upgrades. Because he's Malian, he just gets his upgrades way faster than me, and all of these units are already upgraded, but I still have way too much mass of units. So even though he has a better army with the Mansa Javelineers, I have way too many archers and way too many horsemen, and I am able to just micro towards his army and keep withering him down with the archers. In the meantime, I'm getting all the relics in the map. I already have 2, and I am getting these soon too. I am starting to run out of deer, so I move out to these outer resources. Against this, I like to just keep making archers. I don't like force archers here because they still get one shot by the jav throwers and the tonsos. So I thought archers were better. And I also like to mix spearmen up with a few men at arms. Spearmen are really good because they do not get countered by the Musafali warriors, and they deal pretty well with against the Javelineers. So yeah, here I just want to keep producing horses, keep producing archers, keep the pressure up, because I know he doesn't have... I know he has Farim, but he doesn't have the Csoh landmark. So I know his food is not the best. And I was also being really annoying with the scouts on the other side. So yeah, just keep getting annoying. I actually kind of helped him there because he needed a space for the mining camp. That's actually pretty funny. But yeah, he's having trouble on the food department, as you can see. He's nowhere near the food that I have. And he was really lucky with this. I couldn't get these villagers with the knights. But yeah, now I just keep doing the same military units that I had before. I know I'm really far ahead. I already have the 5 relics with this one. I am also getting the sacred sites. So at this point it would be really hard to lose the game. Look at the army difference. So yeah, that I think the best thing that I could do in this game was the raid at the beginning, because losing 15 villagers like that really put me ahead. And now he overextends in the middle, and I have way too many units for him to deal with. This is why I like spearmen, by the way, because I can just A-move them, and he has to micro a lot to deal with that. So spearmen, I believe, are better, and also he cannot make sofas, because if he does, spearmen already deal with that. At this point, I know I am my army is way stronger than he, so I just go for the dive. I have 50 archers here, and yeah, that is pretty much it. He doesn't have any army left, and every time my archers fire, at least one villager and one unit dies. So yeah, that is pretty much it. First, I have a Rus versus Mongol game here for you. So I'm starting with one hunting cabin because I know Rus is known to just go for spears and a tower, even against Rus these days. I have been seeing. So I just go for the build, just so, because if I go for a hunting cabin here and another one here, then he will be able. Actually, this one is already out of TC range, but he will be able to get the hunting cabins if I went for 2. So now I'm just going for 1, and I'm just following the build as it is. So here you can see my pathing. I go around his base, taking as many deer as I can. His can is actually going behind my scouting pattern, and my second scout is going this way. So whenever his can gets to this undiscovered side, my scout should have already gotten a lot of sheep out of that. So now I deliver my sheep, and I start getting the rest of the map that I haven't discovered yet. And after that, I will go see what my opponent is doing. So he didn't go for a spearman rush in this case. So that is good, because he will not be able to discover my my villager mining gold and my hunting cabin. So here he decides to be really annoying. So I just keep calm. I go with my scout, and scouts actually hit guns harder. So at some point I will go back with this villager and make sure a fresh one keeps gathering gold. So you can see my distribution here. I'm almost up to 150 gold. I was delayed a little bit because of that can being annoying, but I will soon get to the regular gold that I need, and start going for that professional scouts. So here actually I was not used to this build yet, so this is why I got a really late timing for professional scouts. But you should be able to get it really soon, much more sooner than this. So I saw that he was going for Mangudai, that he had an archery range, so this only means that he can go for Mangudai. So the only response here from me is archery range. If I went horseman, he would still be able to guide them when it is just one, and I wouldn't be able to get this deer. Which by now, if I did the build correctly, this deer should already be under my base. This is way too late, by the way. All of these deer should have already been under my base. So yeah, make sure you practice that, because it is really important to get that really early professional scout, so the deer gets earlier and doesn't get denied like it is being denied right now. So right now I am just building archers, getting the deer I want under my base, and it seems like he's building a lot of Mangudai. So he has a total of 4 and 1 what's it called, Cans Hunters. So right now I'm just dealing as much damage as I can with my archers, but he's making a heavier investment than me. And now this is a mistake from the Mongol player. There is no reason for him to go all around this way, because I am already going to have a wooden fortress, and that gives me space for my scouts to get even more deer. So this was a mistake from him. And I take advantage of that. I knew he was on that side of the map. At this point he's gathering his deer, just because I guess he doesn't want me to take it, and he is also going for a fast castle at this point. I already have quite a few archers at this point, so I am able to get the rest of the deer uncontested. And at this point I just want to stop making archers. Because I also want to age up. You can see my distribution here, my eco, and I am almost at that point. So yeah, hunting high trade house. This is not the best high trade house that you can go for. It is actually pretty far away from the deers, but it will still give me a good amount of passive gold. And I immediately go into stable. This is something I've been liking to do more and more with Rus, is just going to stables and knights more quickly, because people already know how to play against horse archers. So I don't like going into horse archers straight away. I go into horse archers here because he has Mangudai, and horse archers deal with Mangudai really easily. So I am just going for both at the same time at this point. And I already had the archery ranges, so why not use them? Also monastery really quickly and start getting the outer relics. I tried to get some of the deer from his side, and I did get some, but he managed to catch one of my scouts, and I see that he is not making any units. I see that it is still the same 5 Mangudai from before, so I decided to go really deep. And let's look at this micro. So here, look at how little damage these guys do. So here I should be able to hit the Mangudai, because he is concentrating on microing the villagers, and once he goes back, then I can go in with the knight. So there I get a really nice pick-off. And I believe he's wanting to go straight into Imperial, and if you see the eco, that is what he's trying to do. This is not the best strategy from him, because I am going to keep pumping units. As you can see, I'm getting more archery ranges. I should be getting a stable soon as well. Another stable. I'm getting more archery ranges because I saw he only has Mangudai. So this is the thing. Like, you don't always have to go horse archers, but if the enemy allows you to and gives you and has a composition that is not good against horse archers, then I mean you can still go for them. They're still really strong. So yeah, I am just pumping out military buildings like crazy. I am getting all the relics on the map. I am getting 2 under my base right now, and I know I saw that he didn't have any units, so I just went in, because I mean what he's doing is really bad for 2 reasons. One, I have a really big army, so I can deny his gold. And two, these are just 1600 gold veins. So really not the best strategy to go for. This is the only thing he can do, is just be annoying on my base. But besides from that, he can't do really anything else. And he's just really committed into the Kaganet Palace, and he's doing so. He is spamming towers, actually just one tower here. So this is going to be able. I am going to be able to just dive here really easily. This is something I wanted to do, just suicide a unit just to see what he was doing. So I saw that he only had two outposts. So at this point, I should be able to just dive, and I do that right when I see the Imperial Age. So, well, actually, he just decides to call it because he didn't have. I was denying all of his food. I was denying his berries, his deer, and he didn't have any food to produce anything. Okay, so now let's get into the second game, and this is against an English player. Both of these guys were Conqueror 2, by the way. So yeah, this is Conqueror level gameplay right here. And I am still going for one hunting cabin, and I wanted to leave space here for my Castle Age landmark later, so I can get the most out of the passive gold generation. So this is why I didn't put this hunting cabin here. But in retrospect, I think I should have, because this would give me a lot more resources over time. But anyways, just something to think about when you're playing Rus. You can think about where you're placing your hunting cabin. So here you can see the pathing again. So I saw his scout around here when with my main scout. So I decided to go around. He ended up going behind my scout, which is really nice for me. And I think he notices at some point, because he stopped going this way and cut off to this side. But my second scout already got all of this, and I'm getting all of his back base with my main scout. So I got a lot of sheep on this game, as you can see. And now with my third scout, I will get the rest that are the rest of the map. And yeah, so with my main scout, I wanted to confirm whether he was going for 2DC or not, and he was. So I knew that I will not need any units whatsoever, just a barracks to deal with his king. And here you saw I did a little trick here, and I was aging up with 4, and at some point you can remove one of the 4 villagers to start gathering resources. And this is really useful because you get a little bit more equal this way, and you really don't need the Golden Gate so fast, so you can actually do this pretty effectively. So at this point, I think I have the build practice a little more. So as you can see, the professional scouts is at the timing that it should be. It's still a few seconds later, but still pretty fast. So here I go for the wooden fortress, for the lumber camp here, just so I can leave space for my thing later. And it is 5 minutes 10, and my professional scouts is almost done. So I start placing my scouts in position, and I go for a barracks real quickly, because I know this 2DC build is most commonly done with Abbey of Kings, so I will need spearmen to defend from this. I only go for this and not for any other buildings, because I know he's most likely not going to do anything else but just go to Castle Age after his king is done. So I know that, well, I really don't know where he is going to go. So I'm taking a close look at the map, and I just start defending my scouts like this. So now I know his king is on this side, so I know this scout is going to get all the deer for free. So now I just place my spearmen here to defend the scouts. and I'm getting all of these deer for free. And I'm just aging up. I am macroing up to castle age. So I glimpsed the king here for a second, so I reposition my spears. And I move all my scouts to get the deer on this side. So this is something really cool you can do. If you see that the enemy has units on one side, then just go to the other one, and that's all you need to do. Here, I actually didn't calculate the positioning correctly of the hunting cabin, and I had to delete my initial hunting cabin so I could put my high trade house here, which is not what you want. You want to you don't want to delete your hunting cabin, man, because that's just like 20 something gold per minute that I stopped getting. But I said fuck it, and I just got this amazing high trade house with 50 trees under its influence, and now I'm going into full stables, full stables, because so let's pause it for a second. There's a few reasons for this. First, what are horse archers going to do in this matchup? If he has longbows, horse archers are going to do jack shit. Second, what if he has a white tower and he has double TC? Where am I supposed to hit with the horse archers? And he expects horse archers too, because he's walling. So this is also really bad for horse archers, because you cannot break walls with them. So horse archers are pointless in this matchup, in my opinion. So I just go straight for knights. This is what I like to do more. And later, if he starts adding crossbows instead of longbows, then I can add horse archers. But I actually like just to go for a classic knight archer composition here. So this is what I'm going to do. Double knight so I can get the relics. And my monastery goes immediately into the fortress one. So I can get that one first. And eventually I will be able to get every single relic on the map. So here my spears are still trying to poke at the king. Just so I can get all of these deer. And this is why Rus is so good into English, because I will be able to get all of these deer as well later. So now he is also producing knights from the white tower. But the thing is, these knights, the purpose of these knights is just to get the relics fast. So I will be able to produce knights faster, even though he has the white tower. I have more eco to do that, and he's starting to produce longbows, as I talked about before, because he might be expecting horse archers, but I am not going horse archers at all. So now I got hit the furthest relic from the map, and because I got this, I will most probably get every single other one, because this one was the hardest one to get. So this is something really important too. If you have spare knights to use, just use them to patrol the relics. So like here I have a spearman patrolling. I have one knight patrolling here. I saw his army here, so I took that opportunity to just start breaking this wall. And this is something you cannot do with horse archers. So something really cool, and he will have to react by just moving his whole army to this side. So yeah, he goes for a raid, but I have so many knights, and I think I actually see him at some point. But yeah, I just go in with the knights. Again, something you cannot do with horse archers. And here it's just 3 spearmen, and these are actually, I think, feudal age spearmen. So I just decide to take the fight. I go for a raid on the back as well while this is happening, and I also get raided in my base, but I have a lot of units here coming out, so I can just defend with my reinforcements. And he gets destroyed here because he didn't have enough units to defend. So if you see, he has 50 idle units. I lost a lot of knights there, but I think it was worth it. And he's out of gold as well, as you can see. He doesn't have any gold at this moment. 0 gold per minute. So that raid, we both got damaged, but I think I did way more damage than him. As you can see, look at the resources per minute. It is just a destruction. So right now I am also getting the sacred sites. because that is also a lot of passive gold per minute that you can get. And I think I got a few more kills here when he was trying to go for the outer golds. This is also why Rus is amazing in Carmel, because you don't have to go for gold that early. Actually, I'm doing so because I'm going for knights. But most civilizations will need more gold than you. So he's already having to go to these outer resources. So really nice for me because I can raid that. And as I mentioned before, I'm going into archers to counter the spearmen and the longbowmen. So yeah, he sees here that I'm going archers. But that is fine, I'm way ahead at this point. And even though he has been to TC the whole time, he's actually not that far ahead in villagers. Only 6 villagers ahead because my raids were so successful. And I am taking his deers now. So I catch him going for this wall. So I know that is what I have to hit. So I go with all of my army. I will most likely raid this at the same time. But yeah, I know that he is here. And he's just going for farm transition. And this is something really important. In this map specifically, getting the big gold in the middle is really, really useful. Especially as Rus, because as you can see, he's almost out of gold. There's no other golds in his base. He has to go on outer golds. So securing this part of the map is extremely, extremely, extremely important. So this is what I'm doing right now, and I will soon upgrade these towers as well. And now his army is actually really crap against mine, because I have a lot of archers to deal with his spearmen and his longbows. So I just abuse that as much as I can. I actually I didn't get a kill. He has that villager resisted a lot of arrow shot. Now that I think of it, I think it's because I only have +1 at this point. But yeah, now I have map control, I have mobility because I have knights, so I can start raiding like this. I can raid on both sides, I can place knights on every single gold mine, or at least the outer one, so I can see if he's sneaking villagers over that side. And I'm also placing an archer here to see if he does that the same on this side. And now it does look pretty grim for English opponent here, because I already have a second TC. So his villager lead is not going to get higher at any point. So now I go in, I use the rest of my cavalry to raid on the other side, and the reinforcements can go in the middle. So I'm just making sure I have full map control. And he has to defend with his really slow army. And this is just a full longbow army with a few spearmen, so I just go in, and there's nothing he can do about it. So this is why longbows, I think he wanted to go longbows because he thought I was gonna go horse archers. But this is not the correct decision. You have to play against Rus as if you were playing against French when I go this style. Because now you don't have any crossbows to deal with the mass of knights. Only the spearmen. But my archers will counter his spearmen, so this is just a better army composition. And I'm just being really, really annoying with knights everywhere. And at the same time, I am already aging up to Imperial. So I immediately get my my elite upgrades for the archers and the knights. And I keep raiding so I can maintain his attention elsewhere. So yeah, look at how I split my knights. This is something you have to do when you're playing with full knights. And he just he has to make trebuchets to deal with the wooden fortresses, because these are upgrades with springles. And now my raids, I don't have to raid anymore, because the purpose of the raids was just to buy time until my elite upgrades came in. Now they came in, and he knows that he has to go now, because otherwise my elite will just get bigger and he will not get any gold. Well, actually, he has to go into this army because he has no gold, now that I think of it. So, yeah, now it's just a destruction. These are Imperial Army units, so I just A-move. I don't even have to micro my knights. So I can just A-move and look at the destruction in the army value. And yeah, that is pretty much it.
And that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video.
If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. You can also catch me live over on Twitch or here on YouTube live streams. Thank you so much for watching and I hope you have a great day. See you in the next one.